Alec, what's been your experience so far with Auto for your clients, and how's it been working for you?
It's been super interesting. I probably only have like 30% of sites on it. I just connected the other ones recently, but the ones that I did connect in, I think the biggest thing is just like how fast. I think the biggest thing is that I can set it up and click a button and it changes things like across multiple pages at one go, or I can like hit the like enable all in category button and it does it all in one go, which compared to what how long it would take me to describe what needs to be changed and assign it to a VA or just log in and do it myself, it's a lot faster. Things like, especially there's certain tasks that are extremely annoying, like the interlinking in the alt text. I find those to be just very unsatisfying,
Yeah.
even when you do them. Just to like line all those up to make those edits in WordPress or even with a plugin, it's very very unsatisfying work. So I found those to be very helpful. And then I like that the that AI is built into each, because let's say for another section, let's say I'm updating the titles and metas of a brand new client and I'm going to go through page by page and do that. It's part of our like 90 plus item checklist that we have if anyone has an existing site to go through and update those. I have a friend gave me access to a custom GPT to help with titles and metas, but you still have to run it each time for every single one. Whereas this one, you can just like with these ones, it's there's the recommendations right there, and you can just like the AI already recommended, and then you can just deploy with like either do it in one go or they can all be deployed. That's what I've been doing is kind of like take a look and I can deploy and then just remove or edit the ones afterwards. So what's nice about that is I'm very one of the reasons I have a high retention rate with my clients is because I'm very communicative about what we're able to get done, and I send them weekly updates, even if very informal, but just updates if I haven't talked to them on what's going on. And this is cool because then clients can see like a large scope of work completed quickly, or new clients, if they have an existing site, can see a large amount of work completed quickly. And I can still go through the same amount of effort to explain like what it is. And the more they've done, the more they appreciate it. But I can explain what it is and say, hey, we did it for like 100 of these, 500 of these. We updated, 300 of these, and it's a huge amount of work, really, really, really fast. So that's been really helpful. It's been most powerful when I have a very clear like company background and thorough keyword research done in advance, and then Auto can help me do kind of like the less analytical, thought-provoking work. A lot of like the grunt work. It can do it very fast, which I appreciate. So yeah, I really like it. I've been getting really thorough with like filling out the knowledge graph,
Hmm.
beginning trying to be really thorough with the knowledge graph, which actually that social profiles tab has been useful for just covering my, I guess, sort of like almost like a little citation audit. Most of my customers are home service companies, so they wouldn't necessarily have like a Crunchbase profile or something like that,
Right.
but I can put those in there and then load some images and then the business some in the AI settings, the company background, and if that's pretty thorough, then the content that comes out of it's pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been using it for today.
Awesome. Yeah, that's I think that's definitely the best practice in here. If you don't give Auto any information, or it doesn't have a lot of background on the business, it, it's not going to be able to make as good recommendations as if we've got a fully formed knowledge graph
Yeah.
with all the input on the business, where they located, what service areas do they have. Also, the top pages is really important because once we tell Auto what pages we care about the most on the client website, as well as the keywords we're trying to target for those pages, it's going to use that information to set up a lot of the work, the groundwork in Auto, things
Right.
like building a topical map for each of these pages, things like the NLP optimization or the knowledge based trust optimization, even things like cloud stacks. It'll be able to build a cloud stack for every one of these pages for us,
Yeah.
so that we don't have to do as much, setup work and clicking work. It just automates those repetitive tasks.
And that's exactly the part I was talking about when I said you got to go in with your keyword research clear, like your main money keywords assigned for each of the money pages on your site, because then you can load it in and you're not just sort of letting AI take the wheel. I've seen letting AI take the wheel not result in like the best quality, fast but not quality. And so if you have, like, I have an Excel doc where I organize the keyword research and then assign it to each page. And so seeing the way you laid this out, it was very easy for me to say, oh, you need three? Okay, well, top three for each page. I'm just copy pasting into this and then letting it run. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great that it mapped really well to your internal organizational structure for what keywords you're
Hmm.
targeting, what pages matter. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. And how much time would you say it saved you for your clients that you've been running it on?
I was thinking about that, how much time this has saved me. The Before Auto came out, I had created a task in ClickUp with like 90 items. That is my just the on-page site audit, making sure things are optimized and what do I want in each, like in a title tag, what do I want in a meta description. And I had my VA running through it, and it was taking him a couple, probably like 2 full days just to do that site audit. And that would just be for titles, metas, images, H1s, not even the other headers, and like some really basic interlinking issues. And it was taking him 2 days. So just that section, and that's on like not that big of a site. So, um, and then the schema part where you're adding schema and like the content optimization and stuff, like that takes way longer. Putting together a complete schema, we were putting a lot of stuff in there, and yours puts a lot of stuff in there. So we're putting a lot of stuff in there, and testing like just takes ages to find all the stuff and compile it. And this tool does it automatically. So that's like, I mean, I could have somebody. It's a lot of time. It's a lot, a lot of time. It's I don't know how long he was taking on each one, but he was taking for him to take half a day on like a really robust homepage schema without any of the research done for a local home service site would have been pretty reasonable. And then a lot of that information he could use in other parts. But there's a huge research aspect of it that takes a long time, let alone like the formatting part of it and the testing and making sure there's no errors. So having that done automatically is like pretty massive. It's very massive, because that would be something that I could easily, I could have that be a month 2 or month 3. Like the main item we're delivering this month is schema for a client paying, let's say 1,000 or 1,500 bucks a month. Hey, we're delivering this. Here's the reason why. Here's what's going to look like when we're done. And then do all that research, and that would work out hours wise and value wise, to have that on page. So this gets it done in the first, like, if they have an existing website, it gets it done in the first week. So it's many months of value delivered quickly, and then the challenge just becomes communicating communicating to the client that we have done all this stuff, and here's the evidence of it, and here's how you check the work, and here's where it is. So that's, yeah, and then getting them to believe it's valuable, because I find that I future anticipate the challenge being, there's people think that high quality work needs to take a certain amount of time, and so explaining to the client what we're able to deliver and why it's better and faster than what other, comparable agencies are able to deliver. um, so handling that kind of stuff too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited in terms of just giving you a blatant answer how long, or I guess how much time it would save. I think for my team, I have a relatively small team. I think I'm going to be able to probably, I think the capacity of each VA, of each employee that I have working on these sites, is probably going to be able to increase by a magnitude of 2 or 3. So I'll be able to go 2 or 3 times longer before I need to hire another employee. Yeah, because I just don't need the busy work.
Right.
Or I can hire lower value employees as just like, data entry, like instead of having to hire more technical skilled employees. So yeah, it certainly changes the landscape of how I'm going to be investing in the business from a manpower perspective, which is great, is super helpful. Yeah, especially for a
Yeah,
small agency.
for sure. So it sounds like it's getting you more efficient. Your resources are going to go further. You're able to deliver a lot more value for your clients in a lot less time, uh,
Hmm.
moving the needle on their results and showing them some some pops and gains in their SEO performance to really help with the retention, and also help with the perceived value of working with you. You're able to, you know, tell them, hey, we're making hundreds and hundreds of updates this week, and for the guys that have done it before, they're like, wow, this is a lot of work that's being saved. So
Mm.
yeah, seems like it's really helping you guys out in a lot of different factors.
It's a lot easier, especially for like a small, medium-sized agency, to manage technology than it is to manage people. And so this type of investment, this type of tool that touches so many areas of the business is going to make it a lot easier. It's going to make it a lot easier to scale because it's the outlays are consistent and the amount of effort that goes into it is consistent, and so it makes it a lot more predictable than, the classic plateau of a lot of agencies is you hire too many people and you're not sure who's doing what, and the quality goes up and down across clients. This makes it a lot more steady and consistent. You're managing it from a single place, so it's a it's a huge benefit. It's a huge benefit for someone who's trying to scale and trying to break that
Yeah.
plateau. And they have trusted team members that they like. And in order to grow, they think they need to bring in so many more X factors, when this makes it so they don't really have to. They can just teach decision making in their own agency and with their current employees, and then kind of roll it out from there.
Right. The other thing that I think is also really helpful is when you have a more junior team member uh,
Mm,
doing the SEO work and delivering these recommendations. It's sometimes like when we're not able to really see what do they do, what do they update on the website. We don't have a great change log, so when there's an issue on the site, it's not exactly clear. Did we do that? Did the client do that? Was it already there?
mm,
This makes it really clear because you can see what changes are being implemented in the website, and you can go in yourself in just a couple seconds and go and edit anything, make any updates you want to the strategy, correct any mistakes that they've made, and also
mm,
just in general, like see a lot fewer mistakes being made. With schema, like you
yeah.
mentioned, this is really technical to construct, and when we've implemented this on client sites, a lot of times there are small errors, there are small things that if you just make one comma mistake, you can break the entire structure. This is formatting everything for you in a consistent, automated way that also aligns to like best practices. To do this kind of research on the entity side to figure out, what are the Wikipedia entries for that particular entity, find the Google Knowledge Graph itself, and link it all up in here. That would take so much time.
It sucks. It sucks really bad, and it's really like not fulfilling work at all. Um, you can spend 4 hours on it and then be like, cool. Like, here's my
Yeah,
4 paragraphs to show for it. But these are really good links, It just sucks. So I'm
yeah,
so happy someone's taking that away, because like, doing it sucks, and hiring someone to do it isn't very fun either. And also,
totally.
I found with schema, I haven't successfully, if you hire someone who's, cheaper to do it, then you have to hire someone more expensive to do quality checks on it, and make sure that it's good. So, and then if you hire someone more expensive, then you're paying them to do what equals busy work, and it's just like completely unfulfilling. So, yeah, any chance to automate that out of our life. And then also, a lot of the schema builders that I've seen and schema templates I see are super simple. Um, they're really, really, really simple, and they don't follow like some of the like SEO best practices, like what you said, connecting the entities in there. So yeah, I'm happy about that, because we were rolling that out in the agency and it was taking absolutely forever. And and what I was noticing was we like schema would go live and it would pass, like Google would say it's fine. We'd get green check marks, but then I'd go into the schema and I'd be like, there's a ton of stuff missing. There's like some pretty random stuff that was connected in here that really shouldn't be. So even if it passes the Google Rich Snippets test, it doesn't necessarily meet all the quality parameters. And so I'm having to go in and recoach and like rebuild. And if you mess that stuff up, it schema can drop your rankings. I found from personal experience, if you have the wrong entities in there, it can drop the rankings. So you want to have it. It needs to be not just pass the Google Rich Snippets test. It needs to pass like the relevancy and context test. So, um,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't want to think about schema. So
Totally. Did you see the experiment that we dropped this morning? The
yeah,
schema only experiment where we added schema and nothing else to the page
yeah,
and we're able to make the rankings pop. Thought that
yeah.
was pretty cool.
That was a big pop. So yeah, that was
Huge pop.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. There were multiple pages that went from ranking on page 2 to 3 and moved immediately to page 1 as the average ranking of the keywords on that page. So that was really impressive. I wasn't expecting it to have that dramatic of an impact just from schema and schema alone, but it was cool to
Yeah.
see that. And then, of course, with auto, you're not just doing schema and only schema, you're doing like 20 other things. So it really does allow you to kind of put together the full blueprint of SEO best practices and execute it in such a short time frame that the kind of magnitude of results that we've been seeing from case studies are just insane. Josh Blakely was just on with me. We were talking about the results that he's been seeing with his agency clients. He installed Auto on over 60 websites, and he was saying by day 2, day 3, the businesses were starting to get leads. They were getting phone calls. The leads were coming in, and it's not just like a ranking improvement. They were getting more conversions actually on
Hmm.
sites that had been dormant that they hadn't touched in a long time. Pretty immediate response from Google, and to be able to deliver results like that on tap for a client is just what's the value of that? It's hard to quantify
Yeah.
that level of confidence and response. On that subject, what type of response have you been seeing with your clients that you've been using Auto on?
So for me, so I only had, I think I had a misunderstanding when I started. I only put 3 clients in there to start. Um, I only had 3 clients in there to start, and I had a little trouble with. I don't think I totally understood how to get all of it deployed originally. I was just doing a lot of testing back and forth and not making too many like dramatic changes. I know one of my clients immediately saw calls increase. I thought it was from something else, but it could be from auto. So I've got like 6 more that I'm queued up to turn on, that I'm queued up to turn on changes because I would like to see. I'd love Josh Blakely level stories of what's been happening. One thing that I did notice, which I was really happy about, is the sites that I manually added schema to. There was 2 sites that got negatively impacted from the wrong schema, seemed to calm down, like the ship righted immediately once I switched schemas over. So that was positive. That was certainly positive, but I haven't seen the explosions yet. I like that the work is done, and my customers love that I can show so many changes on their site. They know that they're like being taken care of and my attention is on them, which has been great. Like my relationships are in very good positions, but metrics wise, I haven't seen the explosions yet on my
Okay.
side. Yeah.
So Josh was a real cowboy, and he enabled all the changes. You just hit the
Yeah.
go button on everything, and didn't go through and review them one by one by one. He was just like, all right, let's just smash this and see what happens. Which
Yeah.
there's something to be said for that. Brazen abandon, reckless abandon, just running forward, and
Yeah.
um, that was cool. I think now that we're in the era of like good AI, where when you give the AI all the right metadata that it needs, it can make really smart suggestions for
Yeah.
copy and title tags, like better than even like our team that I trained. We're seeing now this new auto model is making suggestions even better than what we were seeing our highly trained VAs being able to produce. So yeah, it was cool to see that Josh did that and he got those kind of results. We've been seeing the same thing with other agency owners as well. Like Gabe, he enabled auto, did the same exact thing on his auto detail shop, and you saw like in our Slack channel, like the hockey stick results that were forming from there. And he was on page 1 for all kinds of keywords in his local map pack. He was number 1, so that
Yeah.
was really cool to see as well. Uh,
Yeah. We got to just rip it, just let it rip. I just, yeah, I didn't do that.
yeah, honestly, I think you were doing it the right way where you were thinking through it and you're like, all right, let me just go slow here and try enabling these like and
Yeah.
think about what we're doing, which there's something to be said for that approach too. I'm sure your clients appreciate your thoughtfulness. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just, with auto, I think it's just the more of these you implement on the sites, obviously the bigger the reaction.
Mm.
Have you tested out the Cloud Stacks module yet?
I did. Yeah, that was cool. I just did that yesterday. Yeah, that was cool and really easy, and like it was it was literally like I viewed and edited content, and then I was like, I mean, it has NLPs in here. Like, I don't know what else I need to add. I had the photos that I loaded. And then, so I just like looked around it and clicked around a little bit. And then I just went back and just turned it on for all 13 sites like yesterday. And it was like 2 seconds or something ridiculous. And then suddenly it was sitting there and they're all ready for me. So I was like, yeah, I thought that was pretty insane. That was just yesterday though, that I did. I did on like maybe two, or I guess I did on the three, because I was going through and like filling out the knowledge graph and just reviewing, just being slow, I guess. Um, but yeah, I played with that and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like 13 of them, because I bought Victoria Altman's course. She has a cloud stacking course that's recommended from another group I'm in, and and so I had my VA like manually spinning up cloud stacks, and a lot of it's really similar. Like in terms of the sites that we're using, a lot of that's really similar. There's some differences between like the two methodologies of what's spitting out. Like she likes to integrate like an RSS feed, so that way it's constantly getting replenished with like local like news sources from the area, so they stay like locally relevant. Because she does lawyers. She's in a it's a pretty competitive niche, so she does lawyers. But besides the RSS feed, the rest of it was like, you can't really beat the speed. It was like 2 seconds, and that would take him. He could do two or three in half a day, and also I have to pay for like multiple subscriptions, one to each publisher plus the RSS feed, which is I get a certain number a month for a certain amount, and so this was like super fast. And the fact that I could do 13 of them, like it was just, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot really fast. It's like almost all my miscellaneous tasks. I have this one VA that I use for like miscellaneous tasks that I throw. He does like GMB posts and replies to reviews, and he does schema and interlinking, and he does like, he'll do some on page stuff, not so much, and he does cloud stacks, and he'll do like Google stacks, and he'll do like just all the random SEO stuff I throw to one guy, and this platform does like most of his work for him. So I'm hoping he can dive in here and just like really like be a weapon, get it going in here, but also like now I can use him for other experimental tasks, which is pretty cool. Probably things you're going to integrate in the next 2 months, if I had to guess.
Well, we're always working on new crazy stuff. We always want to put more in here.
Yeah,
Um, but the other thing that I think is really cool is it also includes the indexers too. So you don't have to take your cloud stacks and then add them to your own indexer and get them indexed so Google
yeah,
finds them. These are being programmatically sent to the indexers for you, so you don't even have to worry about that step. So from the user
yeah.
experience perspective, when you build them, a couple seconds, you build them, they're deployed, and then the indexer will usually take 1 day to 2 days. And if you come back here and you check, we refresh the status of all the cloud stacks. I think it's once a day, so you'll see, uh, you know, that the cloud stack has been indexed when it's finally indexed. Usually it's a day or two, and then all that stuff is indexed, and you can actually then quantify the ranking uplift from the links that were built to those pages and see movement. We've done case studies on that
Mm,
where we just did the cloud stacking, built them to certain pages on our on test sites as well as other client sites, and just quantifiably saw like a on average 20 position ranking lift to the pages that were targeted. Those pages weren't ranking very well. They were on position like 30 or 40. And we had keywords go to page one and page two, which was super cool. And now we're able to do that across, like an entire website, um, hundreds of pages, thousands of pages if we really wanted to, in just a couple clicks in Search Atlas and Auto. So we're pretty excited about that. There's going to be some cool experiments coming where we do
that's
this
pretty
at
cool.
massive scale.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about the topical maps module? Have you guys started digging into this?
Yeah, I've been mostly playing with it. I really like the visual part of it. That's the part. Yeah, this thing. I really like this part because, and I haven't played with this as much as I should, but this part is to have someone think of these topics is always a pain. Even using the tools in Search Atlas already, it's not always easy to like come up with these topics. So I found this very, very easy to use. I found this very, very simple and easy to use. Just visualizing how it should all, yeah, how it should all, how it should all go. In the stacks, they all interlink to each other when we build them, or that has to be done.
They will. So in the AI settings by default for this topic map,
Yeah,
we're going to automatically internally link to this page, your pillar page, for the pillar keyword.
cool. Yeah, I've built out all these tasks manually in ClickUp. So even finding someone I trusted to think up topics was like an obstacle at one point. I have someone in place now who does it well, but to give her this is going to make that task just a lot faster, a lot faster and easier. There's a client I have now who has a SaaS product in the like finance space, and they're talking about building a whole educational database, and this couldn't this couldn't make it any easier for me. They want to see like content ideas and stuff, and instead of having to like manually create it all, I can just like, if they'll let me connect auto, then I can simply put in the main keywords and it'll create the money pages and it'll create the supplemental content, because that client is not SEO educated. And so describing this, even me just representing it on an Excel sheet, giving him some ideas, really blew his mind. So be able to like, now the deliverable I can give in that same situation is so much more complete, because the thinking for me is just setting it up, and then the topical map is created, and then it's just showing him the topical map. So that's anything having to do with money or any complex topic. You can get kind of, doing this manually gets you in the weeds, like as in the weeds as you could possibly get, when it comes to content creation. And so having that kind of done is, I think this tool, just not even the writing itself, just the planning of the writing is huge, and also allows smaller firms like mine to take on much bigger clients, because the because it allows me to deliver such a higher level deliverable that doing it manually would be extremely difficult to do. So I think
Yeah,
it's cool. It's a good equalizer tool for a small agency.
definitely. That lets you
Yeah,
punch at a
punch
higher
above
pay
my
grade
weight.
there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Now, in the content assistant, when you set up your folders, like what settings have you been using in here? And which ones have been really important to get the results you're looking for?
I well, okay. I've got this. I have this fully built out for every single customer, which is really, really helpful. I have the AI module set to Claude. That's the only thing that you won't see on this page, because it doesn't have that setting yet on this
Right.
page.
We're
So I
about
have
to
to
add
do,
that.
yeah. So besides that, that's allowed me, changing it to Claude has allowed me to take my company background prompt and drop it like much smaller. But in general, if you could, yeah, I just found that this morning, so I'm going to be doing that in a second. So in for my content, um, oh, if I change it here, it'll change it. It'll apply project settings to Claude for the AI content creation.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's
For
cool.
all of the topic maps, so if you set this here, it will apply to your topic maps below. And this will be the settings that now you're going to be using for all of these topical maps. If you really wanted to overload or let's say like modify one particular topic map to use a different model, you could. We're going to enable you to do that. But yeah, this is like the master switch. So that's going to be the default setting for your entire auto topic map generation.
Cool. Yeah, really cool. I use yeah, when I'm creating content, I know that I have like no uh I disable conclusion and no, yeah. I do generate meta titles and description. I enable lists and tables. I don't do T's. I don't do literary devices or key takeaways. Disable conclusion. Short, third person, and then the voice is between casual or professional. I haven't used Baby Yoda once. Um, and then
Missed opportunity.
my background, yeah, my global background, I always have enabled, and on that one, I just have um, information about the company and where, like what they do and where they serve. I kind of fill it with like the main services um, and the main neighborhoods, and then I have information about the founder, and then I have information about what makes that company unique. So if they offer something unique, or they do something unique, or they have a some kind of catchphrase or unique like selling proposition, that's the big thing that I put in there. Um, and then I have images turned on for each H2. I tend to delete a lot of the some of the images, but I still wanted to create them every time. And then since I do my content in batches, I put the required link, whatever my money page is,
Right.
for that
Basically, the
batch of
pillar
content.
page,
Yeah,
yeah, which would be the pillar page in the topic map here.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't do a mandatory external link, and currently I don't automate the WordPress posting because I get it to that phase, and then I have someone manually do it. And what she does is she goes to her Google Drive and puts in customer photos um, before it goes live. So I could publish it to draft, but currently I don't. Currently I have her do it, and she grabs customer photos, and she grabs um yeah she puts certain things on page to just fill it up a little bit more. I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great workflow. I think with the new topic map feature here, you're going to be able to control those AI settings right from here, and
Mm.
that'll kind of allow you to leave the folder settings set up and configure it however you want it to be for one topic map at a time. That means you can control the internal linking. If there were some relevant external case studies you wanted to reference that are, super authoritative and make good external links, you can include those in there as well.
Mm.
Other internal pages that you really care about that you want to link to, you can plug those in as well. And then all the content that comes out of it will adhere to that template. Um, so,
Yeah, probably the one thing I the one difference is I'm getting my outlines from Perplexity. I shared with you my prompts. So I
yeah.
get an outline from Perplexity because I have found them, the ones from Perplexity, to be a little bit more simplistic and directed than some of the ones I'm getting when I just do the AI generate outline. So I make it in
Mhm.
Perplexity, and then I paste that into the AI content generator as the outline, and then I let your system with Claude rip.
Got it. So you like paste in your H1s, H2s, you click import from article, and then you generate here.
Oh, that'd be smarter than what I'm doing. I am just going there and pasting them in line by line.
Ah, okay. Well, that's why we do these.
Yeah,
Share
yeah,
best
yeah,
practices. Yeah, speed things up a little bit. That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
That would make it better.
The other thing we
Um,
added recently that some people don't know about is we can see our current article outline in here now as well. So if you wanted to just see how your outline looks versus your competitors on page one, you can do
yeah.
that right in here now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, kind of a nice feature for writers that are trying to get more organized. But that's
Yeah,
cool. That's a great workflow. Sounds like you put a lot of time and energy into your content creation process. Um, and
yeah.
what's like your current content output? Like, how much is the agency publishing per month?
I'd say each customer. Um, what's so interesting about that is I find most of the time when they get a competitive quote to me, their expectation is like two pieces of content a month or something,
Right.
which I find interesting. Typically, what I tell them is I always want to publish. I always want to publish at least three pieces of content a month. But I tell each customer that, thanks to best practices I learned with you, that hey, this money is dedicated towards making sure that you get the biggest return for your investment. It's sometimes it'll be like a content overload. Other times we'll be spending that money elsewhere. Um, I still like to show content behind the scenes as a deliverable because they like to see content, they like to see updates on the site. But sometimes I'm spending a bulk of that money on, well, the things that now auto can do in 1 second, um, like on page optimization, content optimizations, adding in FAQs, like conversion optimization, updating photos, like all that stuff. has to be paid for somewhere, or we would use that money to build up site authority through guest blogs or backlinks or press releases, things like that. Um, so in
Those are
general,
expensive. Those are not cheap.
yeah, exactly. So in general, every customer is going to get 3 pages of content a month. And then I have some customers where, especially if they have a brand new site, we'll do much more than that just to get them on an equal playing field very fast. So I'd say my company as a whole is probably, we probably are doing like 35 or 40 blog articles a month. I don't have a huge agency yet, unfortunately. We're doing probably 5 or 10 content optimizations that aren't using AI, and then we do a good number of guest written articles. So, all in all, probably around 70 ish articles being written a month, I'd say.
Solid. Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
And those are good articles. Like you're not just like cranking out crap from ChatGPT. This is like well
No.
researched, good outlines, NLP images. They got all the good stuff. Internal linking, customer images. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's really good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, shifting gears just a little bit. Have you had a chance to poke around in the GBP optimizations?
Yes, I've poked around. I haven't deployed.
Okay,
I have not deployed yet. I wanted to see. I only had one deployed in. So two of them I connected yesterday. One of them I connected before, and I wanted to see the outputs of it. And I think it's good enough to switch from what we were doing because right now I wouldn't say we're manually creating it, but we have a process to create it that's not as fast as what this is going to do.
okay,
Yeah.
and that's for posts,
Uh,
question and answer suggestions, as well as unanswered reviews.
yes, all three of them.
Awesome. That's cool. We're making some big updates to this, kind of coming every day now. Every day there's more that's being pushed live in this module. So keep checking. You'll see we're adding like a multi um, create button, so you can create multiple posts and schedule them with your own AI prompts for image generation and the body content for those posts all at once. Same thing in question and answers, the same thing in the unanswered reviews. So there's a lot of workflow improvements coming just to do it in a more scalable way, systematic way, and schedule out like a full month or 2 months of GBP posts.
Hmm.
Just like, your VA can get in there, spend 15 minutes and schedule the entire, next month of content. And then you can come in and review it or approve it, or whoever their manager is can come in and review their work and, just optimize the workflow, save a ton of
Nice.
time. Um, at our agency, we have someone who's every day before we created this, they were just doing it by hand, and that's pretty much all she did. Every day was just GBP content, GBP posts, GBP question and answer, and in a week she could get through like a large batch of clients. Now she's able to schedule everything for our clients, pretty much like 20, 30 clients in a day. So it's been a huge time saver for her. And
Yeah.
I'm excited for the clients because they're going to get more content and better results as well.
Nice.
Cool. Have you used the report builder to set up reporting for your clients yet?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So what's
Yeah.
what's your workflow like? How do you approach reporting for clients?
I send the full. So my clients are in terms of reporting, my clients are in the home services, and the majority of them don't necessarily like computers or the data, like sitting at their computers. So I don't send it on a weekly basis. I send the large reports on a monthly basis, so that way they can see the evidence themselves. I send just personalized emails on a weekly basis. I just send them. I have an hour slot, and I can send out just like a little blurb of what was completed. Um, the new reporting I think the new reporting is really cool. I think that it's really neat that you can connect the heat maps and have multiple heat maps on the same report. And I think it's cool that um, I use the analytics and search console and the fact that it's like partitioned out so I can turn off sections of it that maybe don't have data or data that they wouldn't understand. And I can
Mhm.
make like either a simplified or more complicated report for each customer and then automate it. is great. It like makes everything a lot. It makes it very easy to give them something to actually look at and see what the results are from the work. So um, yeah, I think the reporting is, I think it's really neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you currently use any kind of like Notion task board style reporting for your customers?
I use ClickUp today internally. My clients are not included in ClickUp. It has the ability to include them, but I don't. I don't share that with them. I will. I can copy paste the tasks created into the email and send it along to them.
Cool.
We thought about using Notion. I had them both at one point, and then I realized ClickUp could be my knowledge hub, which is what I was using Notion for. So then I just combined it all in ClickUp.
Yeah, ClickUp's awesome. We chose Notion because we needed to be able to customize the task boards to fit into this kind of reporting module,
Yeah.
and now we have Notion boards for every single agency that uses Search Atlas. Everyone gets a free, actually unlimited Notion boards for all their customers.
Mm,
And because it's connected to Search Atlas, we can power up the Notion boards with tasks. So everything from auto, we can push that to Notion so that all of the tasks that are being completed by auto are going to go here. So that if you wanted to share this with a customer, they can come in, they can look at the real time task tracking to see what's being completed, what's in work, what's the status and everything. And then we're also adding in, and this is coming in the next like couple weeks, AI summaries of the work that was completed. So what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be like. That is best practice. If you can email your customer every week, my friend Josh Nelson likes to say that the number one reason agencies churn is because of perceived indifference. That's the reason why sorry, not agencies, but customers. It's why customers churn
right.
is because they think we don't care about them. If you email them every week, they know you're paying attention. They know that you care. And that's honestly what really every agency owner should be striving to do is being able to give their clients updates every week about what's happening. The thing is, it's just hard to do that because to summarize everything that's being done across teams, especially for complicated projects where there's multiple um, multiple people responsible for the deliverables, consolidating that message and doing that at a large scale of clients is super time consuming. So what we're trying to do is automate that system so that you can get a AI summary of the work that your team has done for you that you can just copy and paste and just send off to your
Mm,
customer. And now your customer knows exactly what work has been done, what are we working on next, what's going on. And same thing with the results from the campaigns. So looking at charts and the data to tell us what keywords are we winning on, how's the site overall performing? Is the SEO campaign being successful and communicating that in a way that is at their level? That also takes a lot of mental energy and time. So now with AI, we're able to take all of your data from your report builder, just summarize it, and give it to you in a way you can just send it off as an email. So really excited about that feature. I think that'll be really cool for you guys.
cool.
Only thing
Yeah.
though is we have to be able to have the deliverable data. Like if it's in ClickUp and it's not in Search Atlas, we don't know about it. We can't summarize it.
Well, then I got to transfer everything over and retrain my team, and ugh, bleak.
It's a process, man. We build SOPs and then we rebuild them and then we update them and we keep updating them as things shift and change. So it's
Yeah.
all does not need to all happen at once, but I think there'll be plenty of stuff that'll be coming out of this that's not going to require you to do a complete overhaul of your team's task boards. There's stuff that's going to be native to Search Atlas from Auto that you'll be able to use and get the benefit of that without having to like completely bring everything over.
Right. That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't always mind sending the email every week, but I miss it sometimes. Then they email me, and I'm like, sorry, I didn't forget about you. Don't threaten me,
Right? They get
vegan.
used to it, right? They get used to it, then they want it. They want to know what's going
Yeah.
on. They want that dopamine of hearing from you. What's been done. They crave it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. So, what else in Search Atlas does your agency use? What other features in here have been the most beneficial for you guys?
Um, I roll out my clients on. I roll out my clients on. I'm tempted to say every module. Um, I really like the competitive keyword comparison tool for my sales process. I also use the backlink comparison tool for my proposals. The keyword gap tool right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, my customers are in general a little less technically sophisticated. So this is a very easy, non-debatable way to plug them in versus their competitors and show, hey, you're not ranking for enough keywords. They're getting found for all these different keywords, and the number of keywords you rank for is practically nothing because you haven't created any content, and that's why we need to create content. Um, and then the backlinks tool I find very useful too. The compare backlinks. It's very very fast, but this is an easy way. I found this to be a very powerful tool to justify why SEO is a recurring monthly cost instead of like, why can't you just make these changes to my site and be done with it? Um, and I say, hey, look, like, you just like you have to work constantly to build your reputation around town, your website needs to work constantly to build its reputation versus the competition for Google. So you only get that through active consistent votes of confidence from other sites that have authority in the area that you're trying to get into. And the only way you get those is by fostering those relationships manually. Um, so one of the big things that we're going to be doing is expanding the number of keywords you rank for, and then expanding your authority in the eyes of the search engine by creating relationships where people are essentially shouting you out on their websites. And that's just not something that I can do in one go, and it would look artificial. It's something that takes a consistent outreach campaign. Like, we have a whole CRM just for reaching out to webmasters, and we've got someone whose job it is just to reach out to webmasters and create that relationship on your behalf. If so that's one of the reasons people continually invest, because once you get to the top, the long-term benefits, as you know, the long-term benefits of being at the top are much, much more lucrative than the investment you'd make in getting there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. And a lot of times the clients we work with, they don't have that SEO knowledge, that background to really understand that. And so
yeah,
being able to communicate that story the way that you did, which is perfect at a level that they can understand and relate to, and avoiding things that are just too complicated and over their head. Charts, pictures, pretty graphs that just
yeah,
show, them versus the competitors in a really digestible format. That's kind of, super effective from a sales positioning standpoint.
totally. Yeah, it's worked really well, and it's made it very easy for people, even the people who want to dissect every single line in our proposals. It those the areas with the graphs, they just skim over, and they're like, yeah, I get it, we suck at it, and they don't fight it. Whereas, like, if I say, hey, your images don't have alt text, then they want to, like, well, I spent some time in there and I was adding alt text, and so we have it, I know we have it. And I'm like, okay, like, fine, you want to do the alt text yourself, fine. Like, do it, just do it. So
Oh
the
my
graphs
God.
make it easy because it's just like, dude, you don't have any. You don't have enough content. You have content, you don't have enough content. You have links, you don't have enough links. Where are you going to get them?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's spot on. How about the site export? Do you use that um, for helping explain to your clients the work that they need to do, or just showing them where they're at?
yeah, we use it. I use it constantly. I use it for keyword research. I use it for competitive research. We use it in our backlink scoping process because it has all the scores on it. Like, it doesn't just have DA and DR; it has trust flow as well. So we use it for that. We use it for, like, I would guess it's one of the tools we use the most, just because it's anytime someone has any question about their site, or if I'm recording a video for a potential new customer, I I gotta show them this because it just shows kind of, yeah, it shows where they're at, where their traffic's at. Also, if they think they're getting backlinks from someone, I can open up the backlinks and show, like, hey, you're getting a backlink from a site overseas and all their traffic is overseas. Like, what do you think it says to Google?
Right.
Like, okay, let's open up another one. Oh, you're paying this guy how much? Let's open up another one. Let's open up another one. Like these are bad links, and it makes it super obvious and easy for them to see like what's going on, because it's very visual. And then on the technical side, the stuff that I wouldn't show in the sales process, it's the tool that I'm using primarily to analyze, yeah, backlink, anchor text profiles, referring domains. I use it to, and then I use it for keyword. Like I use it a lot for keyword research, just seeing what are they actually ranking for, what's actually working well for them.
Right. And do you also use the search intent feature to see what type of search intent is this keyword for, whether it's commercial, informational, transactional, branded?
Yeah, when I first logged in, that was very helpful because and now that I've been in the tool a little bit, I sort of know how, it's one of those things that you just intuit, and then eventually you you just it's one of those things you start looking at and then it becomes intuitive. But this makes it like pretty explicit, like what, okay, the transactional keywords or informational keyword, why would that one be informational? And then you think through that enough time and it becomes recognizable. But that's a lesson that you only get from doing reps. So, or like taking a word
For
and be
sure.
like, this looks like a good word, and plugging into Google and seeing what Google's rewarding, like who's at the top, and then saying, oh, okay, that's why it's not probably the best word for us to target. Like a
Makes sense.
painter, I have a house painter client,
Mhm.
and the term painter in his area is rewarding a bunch of painters, like fine art painters, which is annoying. But
Super annoying.
we had to go for other more like commercial transactional keywords related to house painting as opposed to just painter.
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense. And how about like what's your approach to rank tracking? Are you kind of using Site Explorer to just get a pulse on ranking deltas? Are you using the rank tracker in here to get more granular ranking? Are you using GSC insights to get, to track all the keywords daily? Like what's been your approach?
So I do my initial keyword research, which is a pretty robust form, and then I assign those main keywords to the money pages, and then those big like high intent, high value keywords on the money pages I'm putting into the rank tracker and search atlas.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you're using this for um, web rank tracking in here.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And what about for local SEO for maps?
I I use it sometimes. I sort of use it as a second source. I use LeadSnap for my heat maps. This one doesn't do service area businesses, and a lot of my clients are service area, and it's harder to input the service area into the search bar and find them quickly. So, um, so yeah,
Can you connect them from your GBP this way?
yeah. Some of them I can. I've connected them now. Um, I've connected a bunch of them now. So yes, now I can.
Okay. So one of the cool things that we're doing with Auto is because what we wanted to do with Auto was build a robust case study generation platform where you can basically build your own case studies with Auto, deliver the results, and then quantify them. And so a big part of the reporting, especially for local clients, is being able to have local projects and local heat maps that we can use to be able to prove and show them that the work that we're doing, the strategies that we're implementing are effective
Mhm.
and they're resulting in ranking improvements. Um, so every auto project is going to automatically fire up a heat map for the central keywords that are being targeted and set up these charts for you and benchmark the progress so that you can see when we compare dates from day one when we added auto to now we can see the impact that auto is having on our rankings just in this tool directly. So that's going to be seamlessly integrated into auto and the report builder. So when we share our results with our clients, they're able to see the full end-to-end story, not just rank tracking for the web, but also rank tracking for maps as well.
That'll be great. That'll be great for customers for sure.
Cool.
Is there? I paused so it could be clipped easy. I use LeadSnap a lot because I use the heat maps in my sales process. So if I don't have the GBP connected into service area business, it's hard to find them.
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to find them in there all the time because sometimes their
Yeah.
names are weird or one reason or another. But I've just been hopping back
So
into, yeah.
yeah, so we've I think we solved that problem. It was a bug or an issue. The thing about Google Places autocomplete search is that when you do a search like this, the Google Places API only returns non-service area businesses. They won't
Yeah.
return service area businesses that don't have an address. So what we've done is we've enabled it so we can go to Maps and
I can do the
find.
URL now.
Yeah, yeah, it supports the URL.
Nice.
So if we were to, I'm going to show you my favorite restaurant here, Restaurant de Caime. Love this place.
Come show it. Manick, look at this.
Oh, look at these two.
She did the
Dual baby
carrier with
carrier.
both of them. Nope, just a single
So
baby
cute.
carrier with two babies in it.
She's it looks like she's got her hands full.
Yeah, constantly.
Oh my god. Is it
That's
is
so
it
funny.
so how would you describe that? Is it like a little bit harder to have like two babies at the same time, or is it a lot harder? It's like 2x harder, or is it like 5x harder?
I have been so tired, and we recently hit like a flat spot with the new 5S's strategy, but it's 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 a lot harder.
It's a
It
lot.
seems a lot harder because, like, I mean, it feels like my wife breastfeeds like 19 hours a day,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, Sophia hates it. She can't stand it anymore.
Yeah, it's one then the other, then one then the other, then one. And even when you try to do it together, which you can't do in public, you have to like take your whole shirt off.
Right.
So you can't do that in public. So you're just like sort of stuck in one place. And then
Wow.
if one baby's screaming, we haven't had one wake up the other, but like you can have like one. Um, there's just not enough hands.
Yeah.
When you already have kids and then the twins are upset, it's like, okay, someone has to hold this baby, but I have to change this baby. And
Right.
I can't change a baby. I can't like change a dirty diaper with one hand. So I'm just got to let this baby scream or like what? Like I can't, they're not just going to sit there. Like they can't even hold their head. So
Right.
no, if Renee's mom wasn't here, we would be dead. Like I had 1 week without much steady help, and it was horrible. It was really, really bad. So it was, yeah, it's an exponent. It's not an addition sign.
That's good to know. I hear you. I know that feeling well. When our au pair went, she like went back home for her birthday, and she
Yeah.
was gone for like 5 days. Our quality of life went straight into the gutter. It was painful.
Yeah.
It's great to have that help. I'm glad that Renee's got her mom around, and you too. So
One more
that's
month.
helping you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, circling back to the GBP stuff and businesses, this should support your service area businesses. You just plug them in here, and they'll import like this, and so that way, if you can't find them through the search, you can just import them directly. How do other platforms handle that? Like in LeadSnap, can you search for the service area businesses, and do they come up?
No, no, no. I use the maps URL.
The Maps URL directly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do
Yep.
that in here as well now.
Cool.
And if there are any other snags around service area businesses, just let me know. We've been we've been trying to really focus on them because they are unique and special, and make sure that the entire platform can accommodate and support them. So just let me know if you hit any other issues around those service area businesses in the platform. I know in Auto, we made some changes so we can support them as well. You should be able to do everything in Auto with the service area business. Same with our maps. Yeah, should
Cool.
work.
Awesome.
Well, cool, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm using
Um,
like everything. I'm using like everything. The things I want to use more of is the press one.
mhm.
I try to use that, and I haven't found a good way to work it in the flow. Also, because I'm in home services, like the type of press reporter that I need is pretty specific. Um, and then I don't know what other modules are in here that I don't think I'm not using anything.
So we have an outreach module. It's not live yet for all the users, but that's going to be coming after we launch Auto. We're going to work on the other digital PR tools, and our goal is to automate these outreach campaigns as part of Auto. So within the authority building product set, there's going to be a new one for automated outreach, and it'll just send the emails out. You'll get the responses back. You'll have to handle those right now manually, but eventually our goal is going to be able to create like a middle layer between you and the publishers, where the publishers can kind of self opt in to content marketing opportunities with you guys and accept content for your customers to then publish, so that it'll kind of allow you to build your own database of publishers in a more automated way on a client by client basis, just based on the keywords that they're ranking for and targeting. So I think that'll be cool. Probably help you out
Cool.
um, with your
Yeah.
outreach.
I use the hell out of this. I use the hell out of Search Atlas. That's for sure.
Awesome, dude. All right.
And we're scaling, which is cool. I have we're yeah, we had a couple customers sign up this week, which is cool, and a couple
Right on.
quotes out, and cold calling every day, and things are things are looking like they're going to get really busy really fast. So Auto couldn't have come at a better time, because I did not want to hire a bunch of strangers.
And then train them and then find out that some of them don't really know how to do the things they claim to be able to do. And all the mess that
Yeah.
comes from, having that big HR function sucks. I hate it too. But I'm really happy to hear the agency scaling. That's amazing news. Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you.
well deserved. I know you work tirelessly to get your clients results, and I know how much you care because of our conversations we've had. I know that you, more than a lot of other people out there, I know you really do everything you can to get the best results possible for your clients. So I know I'm sure they really appreciate that too.
Yeah, we've been I hope they do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure that
It's
they do.
hard to lead with that without sounding like a scumbag, but it's okay. It'll I got no doubt we'll take off. This will be it has to be a big year, because I have no self-control around my wife, and we have too many kids. So
I'm not going to comment on that directly, but I think it shows. You guys have like 4 kids, 5 kids now.
four kids,
Four
four
kids.
kids. Yeah,
All
four
right.
kids in 4 kids in 5 years. So
You,
um
you've been busy,
yeah,
but probably not
it's
that busy. Probably just about 30 seconds uh,
give me
per
some
kid.
credit.
I don't know, minute, 2 minutes. Anyways, Alec, thank you so much, dude.
Uh,
Really
Thanks,
enjoyed
Manick.
this time. Thank you so much for sharing your insights into building your agency and how you're using the platform, Search Atlas
Cool.
and Auto. Thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
yeah, let's we'll be back again soon. Would love to do another webinar in a couple weeks and talk about some case studies that you've produced through Auto and through the platform, and hear how it's been going for you.
I've been trying to turn them on and get everything filled out and get them flipped on for all the customers. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hoping this afternoon. That's what I'm going to try to get done this afternoon before 5.
Sounds awesome. All right, my
Yeah.
friend. Uh,
Thanks, Monica. See you.
thanks, buddy.